So, wellness programs usually die when the leader who championed them leaves. That brings every wellness program to the final test. Would a new leader with no loyalty to it still fund the program? Here we have Samantha Levin, the wellness program manager at Wellness 360, to help us understand why leadership change kills a program and how to build a program that outlasts any single person who backs it. So, thank you, Samantha. Let me start with the first question. There are some wellness programs that should die when the leadership changes. So, how do you know a program deserves to survive?
Yeah, a program earns the right to survive by tackling systematic psychosocial hazards instead of offering generic individual perks. So, if it's not driving measurable retention gains and hard metrics, it doesn't deserve to outlast the leader who started it.
Okay. So, um, why do you think these programs collapse during the transitions in the first place?
These programs collapse because the system around the change breaks down. It's not because the employee resists it. So, overloaded, workflows, blurred decision rights, and competing priorities are what stop the change from actually, being executed.
Okay. Uh, so, what are the metrics to track if it's not healthcare savings?
Yeah, so definitely skip healthcare savings and track, daily business impacts instead. So behavioral shifts and cultural health are what shows the true value of a wellness initiative. That can really help that ROI, honing in on those employees and see, where those changes are being made.
Okay, and how do you actually break the sponsor dependency, that dependency on one single person?
Yeah, so definitely move ownership from one person to maybe a coalition, so like a
Mhm.
group of people. The wellness version of what change management calls a guiding coalition. So build it cross functionally, on purpose with HR benefits, finance, operation, and real employee representation. So not just people who report to the original sponsor. So definitely building that coalition is definitely helpful.
Okay, so I understand the building the coalition part, but then how do you embed a program into operations concretely, like to make it a part of the process?
Yeah, so definitely it means the program, stops being that, temporary initiative and becomes permanent by being part of the organization run. So it no longer needs, special attention to survive. It's more of that automatic, process through existing structures. So, after that trial run, it's already there. You see people going back to it over time, and it's just part of that concrete structure.
Okay, and there's a lot of backlash against wellness programs. So the reason it dies is because the new leader that comes in skeptical. So why do you think that happens?
Definitely the backlash centers on privacy, fairness, culture, financial penalties that hit the lowest earners the hardest. So, intrusive tracking, maybe weak ROI, and programs that quite, shift blame from burnout onto individuals. So, wellness isn't the problem so much as how it's been used to, kind of track, those overall structure issues.
Okay, and so over time, no matter how good the intentions were at the start, as time goes by, the wellness program is going to have some context loss. So how do we protect against this?
Yeah, definitely writing it all down before. Absolutely. So you want to write down, how the program runs day to day, who the vendors are, when the contracts renew, and what's the baseline numbers. So those, starting numbers where you were, throughout the program Definitely the documentation is what, keeps a program from quietly, dying once the person who built it leaves. So you definitely want to make sure you write everything down from, start to finish, and track all those metrics and all those numbers from the beginning. So in case that person, does leave or there is some loss over time, you can always refer back to those, written down numbers and documentation.
Okay, and I had another question about that. So there's a new leader coming in. They look at all this documentation, but they're still not convinced, and they're looking to audit that program. So what are the questions you think they should ask?
Yeah, so probably keep it to about three questions. So, who actually uses this, and what changed because of what they did? What is the cost, and what we'd lose if it disappeared tomorrow? And do employees even know it exists? So, are employees aware about the wellness programs, about the benefits they have? So, if a program can't answer those clearly, that's usually the answer right there. So kind of looping back to those original questions, making sure they're asked. So those are the first three I would definitely start out with.
Okay, thank you so much.